Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another fantastic edition of your favorite up and coming podcast, Panda Watch.
Yay,
I'm Steven
yay.
Zebrak with always.
It's your boy, Kev Ma. PandaWatch is soon to be like everybody's favorite pastime.
Right. But I got a quick question before we get into shit. How long can we be up and coming? Because I kind of like calling us your favorite up and coming podcast.
We could be up and coming for a while until we get discovered. I think that's like the real definition.
So it's indefinite. Okay. I like that.
Essentially.
All right, man. Starting it off, man.
We're going instant gratification mode, dude. We're gonna be rock star hits in like 2 weeks.
All right. I like that prediction. I predict
you.
2 years, but that's cool.
Words.
2 weeks can work. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, we are still without a sponsor because those douchebags from Michelob Ultra, they're respecting our boycott, so they haven't contacted us to be sponsors yet.
They haven't, out of spite, just given us a sponsorship deal, which is kind of weird. But hey, man, I respect it.
I mean, I figure the more we bash them, the more likely we are to get an offer from them.
I would much rather, pee in a cup and throw it in my face than drink.
All right, you'd like to R. Kelly yourself.
Essentially.
All right. Well, one sponsor we would love to have is the Bro Ball.
Nice. Definitely got a shout out to the Bro Ball.
The Bro Ball is still looking for backers on Kickstarter. So go to Kickstarter, just search the Bro Ball, and watch what it can do. It's pretty amazing. Bluetooth speaker that you can take in the water and throw around as a football. I mean, it's pretty great.
Patent pending, the world's first speaker in a football, guys. I mean, let's be a part of history right here. You want to do it.
Right.
Be a bro.
Be a bro and bro out.
All right. What'd you get into this weekend, man? What did you do?
I did a little bit of drinking this weekend, but the highlight was definitely meeting a athlete at a bar on the Lower East Side.
Wow.
So,
was it a date?
It was not a date.
Oh,
it was, and I should clarify, he's now retired.
So you met an old athlete?
I met an old athlete at a bar on the Lower East Side.
So this old athlete is going to be somebody that everybody's going to know, right?
No, it's probably just be baseball fans will really know who he is. Anyways, just a quick synopsis. We bonded over very subtle but obvious racism. I know that's a little oxymoron there, subtle but obvious.
Oh, that's my favorite kind, man.
I think it's subtle to people who aren't aware, obvious to my man and to myself, because I am such a student of racism.
You've got a trained eye
on anything. What was that?
You do have a trained eye for racism, man.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you would chime in and be like, oh, "Man, that was racist."
Yeah, I think growing up with you, I've definitely gotten a keen sense of racism, which I'm thankful for, actually, because it makes my daily observations all the better.
Exactly, man. That's what I'm here for.
So just to do a quick, too long didn't read version of the events, I was at a bar on the Lower East Side called Tijuana Picnic.
Nice.
Waited a while to get my drink. Got my drink. The bartender was like spilling ice all over the place, and all I hear him say is, "Do you have a problem?" And he's like, clearly he's not talking to me. So I turn around, and there's this like 6'4" black guy standing right there, and he's like, "Do you have a problem?" And he was confused. The black guy obviously was confused as to why the bartender was asking him if he had a problem. He was like, "No."
Well, how close was he to the bar?
He was like right behind me, kind of. So like
okay.
I was at the bar, and he was like, waiting his turn to get drinks. So he was right there. So after the guy's making my drinks and he hands it to me, I turn to the guy and I'm just like, "Look, man, I don't mean to butt in, but what the fuck was his problem? Asking you if you had a problem."
Yeah, he was kind of bugged out.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't know, man. He got mad because I was trying to catch the ice cubes he was dropping. So we laughed about that. Yeah, it was ridiculous, right? Like, why is
Yeah.
the bartender giving him such a hard time?
Come on,
We laugh
man.
we laugh about that. Turns out the girl he's there with is friends with my friend's birthday party.
Nice. Cliff Floyd, a friend of friend.
Oh, well, I got to the part that he's Cliff Floyd, but thanks for ruining that.
Is it Cliff Floyd?
Oh, yeah. Well, anyways, I'm talking to the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, my name's Cliff. I work for MLB Network." And I was like, "Wait a minute, what's your last name?" He said, "Floyd." We had a good laugh about how it took me so long to figure out who the fuck he was. And then, of course, I geeked out for 20 minutes talking baseball with him.
Well, now here's the question, though. Why would you
Yeah,
assume that the 6'4" black guy had to be somebody?
I didn't. I didn't think he was.
So
I
why
just
would
commented it. I originally spoke to him at first to talk about the subtle racism of the bartender calling out the only black guy in line for a drink.
correct? But I mean, that should be. I mean, obviously, that's where your conversation started. But in the storytelling, you're like, it took me 20 minutes to realize that he was Cliff Floyd.
No, I geeked out for 20 minutes after I realized it was Cliff Floyd.
Ah,
I
okay.
figured out it was Cliff Floyd when he said
I'm
his
Cliff
name was
Floyd.
Cliff. He said his name was Cliff. Then he said, I work for MLB Network. And then I said, wait a minute, what's your last name? And he told me. So it was a good talk.
What team did Cliff Floyd play for? He played for several.
He played for a bunch of teams. He started with the Expos, bounced around to like the Rays, the Red Sox, and I think he finished with the Mets. And I'm sure I'm missing a couple teams in there. But he was a journeyman player, but definitely one that most baseball fans know.
Nice. So did you and him go out to like just start ripping shots?
We should have, but I mean, I should have gotten his number, but I was too scared to ask.
You definitely should have got his number. You should be like, hey, bro, this is not weird at all, but like, can I have your number? Because like, I want to hang out with Cliff Floyd.
Yeah, I mean, part of me was like, I mean, I think I geeked out enough for him. Like we would never hang out again, and I got all of my like excitedness out in one night. And we talked for a while about baseball and how like it was cool though. It was definitely a very cool New York City moment.
Gosh, man.
Boy.
New York City is just paying off for you, man.
Right? I mean, screw the girls. I met Cliff Floyd. That's pretty cool.
Bingo bongo.
So I would like you to try and top that.
I mean, how am I supposed to follow up a celebrity sighting? I do have an idea, though. We, down here in Virginia, do things on the smaller scale. So we have to hang out with our friends that we already know. And so I was a guest of one of our friends down here's housewarming party down in good old Dumfries, Virginia. And if you don't know where Dumfries, Virginia is, think of Washington, D.C., and then think 5 hours south because it's that far.
Dumfries is way south.
It's technically still Northern Virginia, but it's far. And anyway, our boy just bought a new house. So now, it's that adult thing to do where you throw a housewarming party. And so when you think of a housewarming party, you expect that the owner of the house or the people that live there are ready to, host guests. Our friend does housewarmings a little bit different, where it turned into a potluck housewarming thing, and the only thing that our friend provided was the house. It was beautiful. It was a great time.
So we're not naming our friend then. We're just saying
we kind of hinted at the kid's name, but we're not going to name him out of respect for his terrible haircut.
For those of you who know him, he wears fake Chucks.
Yes, he does do that. And the house is beautiful. It's pretty dope. I mean, it's far. That's a thing that would be like a no-go for me. But the housewarming was just so much fun because he was the day of just texting us, hey, man, can you bring this? What is this? Hey, man, can you bring some food? Cool, man. It's a housewarming potluck. We got it. 10 minutes later, yo, do you have a cooler? 10 minutes later, can you bring ice? These are all legitimate, but we already asked you, what can we bring? And you said bring food. So that's all I'm bringing, my man. Everything else, I think you should provide.
Right. He needs to be a little more organized for his next get together, especially if he's asking people to take a road trip.
Absolutely. I was like, do you understand that you want people to come back here? This is why housewarmings are had.
Right. You want people to have a reason to come visit your ass in Dumfries, Virginia.
But long story short, man, it was like it was a housewarming that was kind of like, dude, we can do better. Don't bring us down here for this again. And I just want to know, like, what kind of unwritten rules of a housewarming are there out there? Do you think?
Well, I think.
Do you think we can just invite the world and just say, all right, since they're all coming, they don't have to bring a gift, but they're going to bring something.
Right. You invite close friends and you started off by saying, look, this is what I'm going to provide. I would like you guys to provide blank, whether that's more beer, more wine, or food. That's up to him or her. But you need to kind of set like little guideline as to what people are going to bring.
And that is, I totally agree with that. Like, just give me what you want me to bring and let that be it. Now, after you send and I'm really good friends with the guy, so it's not like it's a real big deal. It's not like he's just some random friend. But I like to give him a hard time because it's like, you literally just told me what I had to bring. And you said, don't bring anything else. And then it turned into bring everything else.
Right.
Like, do you want us to bring the sink and the dishwasher too?
Yeah, exactly. That got to when one of our boys was throwing a backyard party and he was asking people to bring a tent.
Yeah, man.
Like, do you want us to bring the backyard too? Like,
gosh, friends say the
at some point you need to provide something.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that's all I had for this weekend. I thought it was hilarious.
Well, I know
better than your story.
Oh yes, yeah. I asked you to top it. I asked you to top my story. You clearly did not. So I win that round.
Again.
Onto the round of.
There's the whites trying to steal something again, man.
Oh yes. Well, I'm trying to Columbus you right now.
Columbus Day over there.
Yeah, trying to Columbus your ass right now. Although one thing, thankfully, to Columbus was NFL Sunday.
Yes,
which was a very exciting NFL Sunday. Considering I know you guys played Thursday night and you won a tight one.
Hallelujah! All hail the old man, Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah, I won't shit on your team this week because you did win with Matt Hasselbeck. So
I mean, you can't shit on us, yo. We about to take over the world.
Because
the Colts are going to beat the Patriots.
Winning the AFC South is really tough.
It is not that tough. It's really bad.
Yeah, I know that was the joke.
No, I know
that was the joke.
Reaffirming it.
The best part about Thursday night's game, though, was Ryan Mallett on the sideline. How great was that?
Oh, he looked really salty.
I've never seen a teammate more pissed off when his team was doing well than Ryan Mallett. That was great. I mean, damn, man, at least hide it a little bit. Like, I understand you want to be on the field and you want to be that guy, but you're not. So you might as well just be happy that your team is winning.
Or go to the locker room, man, if you're really that upset that you can't watch it. Well, you know all the cameras are on you the whole time, yo.
Yeah, so he did go to the locker room early in the first half after Hoyer threw that Hail Mary.
Which was atrocious. I mean,
yeah, that was bad.
We could talk about that play because what were the four defenders on the Colts secondary doing? One guy tackled his own teammate, and then the other DB who was free to make the play stood behind the offensive player. It's like, hey man, you're on defense, Bernard Pierce. That wasn't his name, but we all saw that block. Yeah,
that was great. But that Hail Mary kind of reminded me of the Leitner shot, which I'm sure you're a big fan of.
Oh my gosh, are you joking?
I just had to throw that in there.
Wow.
But anyways, he went off. He went into the locker room before the extra point at halftime, which he cited was a error on his part. He didn't mean to go in early. He thought it was halftime. He didn't realize that after you score a touchdown, you have to kick an extra point. So he went in early at halftime. I mean, this dude's playing football his whole life. He didn't realize that you have to kick a point after an extra point after a touchdown.
Remember, some of these guys don't really know the rules. My man Donovan McNabb was like,
we do know this.
I did not know we could go into overtime or the game would just end.
Yeah, speaking of overtime, we had three games going to overtime at 1:00 this weekend. We had, and we'll get to this later, the Falcons-Redskins game, the Ravens-Browns went into overtime, and
that was a crazy one.
A really good game that went into overtime was the Bengals-Seahawks too.
Yeah, I mean,
that one was nuts because the Red Rocket, my new quarterback, took his team from 17 points down in the fourth quarter and led them past what's supposed to be the Legion of Boom, a great defense, and just pretty much shat on them in the fourth quarter. And
yeah, did they rack up like 200 yards in the fourth quarter?
And it was something sick. They scored 17 unanswered in the fourth, 20 overall if you count the overtime win, and they racked up 200 yards in like the fourth quarter. I mean, that was nuts.
That's going to be a big confidence booster for my man Andy Dalton because, I mean, it's still regular season, but that team was in the Super Bowl last year, so it's a good measuring stick for your team.
Right, and the knock on Dalton has been he's been a mediocre quarterback who does just well enough in the regular season to make the playoffs, and then but now he's kind of taking charge out there. He's putting up ridiculous numbers the first few weeks of the season. Granted, the dude has AJ Green, and that guy's a beast, but he's using other guys too. And Tyler Eifert is playing really well, and he's got two good running backs too.
Yeah,
so they're looking good at 5-0 right now.
5-0, but like you just said, it's mad early, and we still want to see what he can do on the in the playoffs because
right.
I mean, he's still going to be judged by that, like all these quarterbacks are.
Yeah, I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they should win their division. They'll make the playoffs. It's just a matter of what matchup they get the first round and what Bengals team comes out to play. Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see. Another 5-0 team beat down our favorite team to mock,
our favorite Redskins. Punching bag. The team from DC, Steven.
Oh yeah, sorry, the Washington football team.
There you go. The Washington Football Club.
I was getting in the spirit of Columbus Day. So,
gosh damn it.
But the Washington Football Club. I like how we call them the football club too instead of the football team.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. So the Washington Football Club.
They might as well be a rugby team.
Yeah. They actually had a pretty decent game on defense.
No, the Redskins are the Washington Football Club are
you're just giving me shit. You hypocrite.
I know, man. I love hypocrisy. It's great. I can be a politician. The Washington Football Club for years and years has never, like over the past 2 years, their defense has been like a laughingstock. Their defense now, they're like number 1 against the run or number 2 or something like that. They're pretty high.
Yeah, I know that going into the week, the Giants were the best against the run, and we'll get to them later.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, the Redskins defense has been playing well. And as our boy Paul Fisher was saying, their special teams has been much improved too. And I was watching the game with our boy Nee, whose birthday is coming up.
NGHI, what up? What up?
So I was watching the game at his place, so I was forced to watch most of the Redskins game, which is fine. I mean, he made food; it was great.
Nice. What did he make?
Turkey chili mac. Actually,
turkey chili.
Yeah,
my
man does it up he does it up sometimes. He knows how to cook.
Man. Where is the beef?
I don't know. He's trying to be all healthy and shit.
Respect it. They ain't no damn chili.
We watched the game there, the Redskins-Falcons game for the most part, because he has Sunday ticket. And it was an interesting game to watch because the Redskins stayed in it the entire time. They frustrated the Falcons. They got to Matt Ryan. They forced him to throw 2 interceptions. So they played really well.
But
their
then,
offense there.
but then their defense started to crack a little bit because Devontae Freeman, fantasy pickup of the year. Shout out to me and all the other owners of my man Devontae.
You don't have him in our league though.
I don't.
Mike.
In my work league, I have him. So in my work, yeah, it does.
No,
we got big money in that one too, man. I just want to win.
Is it dollars or like Liberian shekels or something?
First off, in Liberia, they use dollars. Also, Devontae. He went nuts in that game.
See, that was the problem the Falcons had too, I thought, watching the game. They went away from the run a little too much. Like, yeah, Matt Ryan's been having a good season, and Julio Jones is an absolute monster. But Hankerson, I think, got hurt at some point during the game, and Freeman was just carving him up. So just keep giving him the ball. I don't understand that. But it worked out for them because our buddy, Captain Kurt, threw a nice little pick six in overtime.
Oh, man. Captain Kirk, man. He'll never live it down. Okay,
that dude loves throwing interceptions.
The pass that was heard around the world. How did you feel on that?
The pass heard around the world is Kurt's interception?
Yeah. Around this world in Northern Virginia, that's for sure.
Yeah, I thought it looked like the receiver slipped, as you said earlier. But to me, it just looked like even if he didn't slip, that ball was sailing over that receiver's head because Alfred, this guy's last name, Alford or something on the Falcons, had to tiptoe in bounds when he made the interception, and he was on the sideline already. So that receiver, if he doesn't slip, he's not catching the ball. Now maybe he gets in the way of Alford and he can't catch it, but still wasn't a great throw.
No, the pass was not the best. I just think that every pass is destined to be incomplete until somebody on the other end catches the ball.
Right.
And so,
good one.
Yeah, thank you, man. I came up with that myself. That guy, his job is to catch the football. His job is not to fall down. That pass, even though the play, there were some news articles out there, it was a stop route. So he's supposed to just turn and button hook in. And so the ball could be inside, the ball could be outside. The ball was outside. It was a poorly thrown ball. I just think Kurt is just going to get beat up around the country because he's got a propensity for throwing picks. He was not accurate. It was his fault. However, that pass is probably not picked off, even as bad as it was, if the wide receiver stays up.
Right. I think maybe the wide receiver gets a finger on it, or he at least gets in the way of Alford.
Or at worst, he makes the tackle.
Right, that too. And then Atlanta still has to go about 20 yards before they can kick a field goal.
All right. Well, that's enough talking about the Washington Football Club, man. I mean,
right. We can move on then to the NFC East New York Giants. And my man, Eli, does what he does best.
Sorry to cut you off. Wait. You're like reverbing. I want the fans to know that I can hear him coming through like T-Pain right now.
Oh, yeah? My fault.
It's all good.
I was auto-tuning.
So just in case you guys get some feedback, that was Steven trying to be T-Pain.
Yeah. It's something I work hard at. But anyway, the NFC East leading New York Giants.
Can you sing the song, Can You Buy Me a Drink?
Stop trying to ruin my moment of glory when I'm talking about the NFC East leading New York Giants.
Do we have to?
A very exciting game. The Giants tried their best to blow another fourth quarter lead. But
who did they play?
Man, Eli took them down the field.
Who did they play?
The 49ers.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't play the best team, obviously, but Kaepernick had a pretty good game. And they had trouble with the run, which is their strong suit so far. They've only allowed 68 yards a game before 2 nights ago on Sunday night. And Hyde was kind of killing them in the second half. But they hung tough. Beckham had a nice game. And Eli had a great game. Shane Vereen really saved him at the end, that final drive. I don't know if you were watching the game at all.
I did not watch. No, actually, I did watch it.
But for those of you who weren't watching, Eli was relying a lot on Shane Vereen. A lot of like over the middle passes and like Collinsworth was dumbfounded. Me too. They weren't guarding Vereen. He was the best receiver on the field when Beckham was off the field, and they weren't guarding him. So thank you, 49ers, for just letting Eli march up the field with Shane Vereen.
I mean, I feel bad for the 49ers, man. One linebacker retired. The other one just came back from being out for the whole year for blowing his knee out. They probably don't have any backers to stay with Vereen.
Right. Yeah, they're a team in shambles, but a win is a win, and I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, in the not for long, man, you got to win games. There's no better medicine than a win.
Yeah, and speaking of winning games at the last minute, last night's game was pretty insane.
Gosh, the Monday night game was intense.
First of all, it's not even.
Yeah.
Should we talk about how the Steelers lost 18 seconds after the kickoff, after the touchback?
I mean, it was kind of like ridiculous that 18 seconds ran off, and they didn't put time back on the clock.
Yeah, I get a second or two coming off the clock, like your reaction time's slow or the button jams or, you just have a momentary lapse. But even a second or two is easily fixed. 18 seconds in the fourth quarter went off the clock. I mean, that is ridiculous.
I mean, if that doesn't scream point shaving, I don't know what does. And usually they do a good job of in-game corrections where if they see time elapse off, somebody's in the referee's headset like, hey, man, you should put this amount of time on.
Well, they said it's one of the side judges' job is to compare the clock before the play and the clock after the play. So it's his job to do that. Then if he fails, it's every other referee's job to figure it out. Then even if they fail, there's a replay official who's supposed to see it on TV like we all did. So
I was going to say, did they even catch it on TV or at the NYC studios?
I don't think they did because I was watching the game at a bar last night, and the sound wasn't on, so I don't even know if they caught it or not. Like if ESPN noticed it, but that's miserable though. Regardless, 18 seconds came off the clock in a NFL game in the year of 2015. Like that
should not happen for the juggernaut that is the NFL. That is holier than thou, makes no mistakes. Players can't make mistakes because the league that controls them doesn't. I mean, you had 18 seconds that were needed for this team. I mean, they had to win at the buzzer.
Well, not even that. It kind of screwed the Chargers too, because the Patriots score, and obviously 18 seconds is very unlikely for a comeback after a kickoff, but it's still theoretically possible.
Why did you just say the Patriots?
The Chargers, same thing.
Come on, man.
There was cheating involved, so I just assumed the Patriots.
Hi-yo.
Yeah, but my fault. The Patriots are 4-0 and looking ridiculously good, so I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah, they look solid, but I don't know if America can slurp them any harder than what's going on right now. Tom Brady's
That's true.
Tom Brady's reminiscent of his 2012 year. Tom Brady's this. They're this. Shut up.
I mean, he is the best quarterback of our generation.
They're going to lose to the Colts.
He is the best quarterback of our generation.
Is his name Peyton Manning? That's weird.
Oh, that's funny because Peyton Manning threw 2 picks to the guy who rightfully won the 1998 Heisman Award.
I wouldn't say that, but
I'm on Peyton's side. I just like messing with you.
Yeah, Charles had a solid year that year, but it's okay.
Yeah, no, just to gloss over, Charles Woodson picked off Peyton Manning for the first time ever.
He did, and they did it twice.
Yeah.
Here's my question: what do you think was going through Tomlin's head when he made that call on the goal line?
I honestly think I don't think he realized it would take 5 seconds. He probably, when he was doing that play, was like, this will take 3 seconds and I'll still have 2 seconds to call a timeout. And part of him was like, look, I have arguably the best running back in the league. So why not give him a shot to run it in from a yard out? That's what he was thinking. And this is for 2 way more after touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, they're closer. Why put a non-scorer? I mean, they do score points instead of taking my offensive juggernauts from 2 yards out or 4 yards out, wherever they mark the ball.
Yeah, it's 2 yard line. You have the best running back in the league. Le'Veon Bell is ridiculous.
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, but that game was nuts, and it was kind of fun to watch. So that was a very entertaining Monday night game.
Gosh. You know what else has been entertaining that I haven't watched 1 second of? The MLB playoffs.
The MLB playoffs have been great, and I haven't been watching that much of it either because it's all on cable.
My Nationals are not on.
Well, that too. I'm a little butthurt about that, but it's not on cable.
But don't you? I mean, they're not showing it on it. Wait, it is on cable.
Some of them are on ESPN, which I can watch through a Watch ESPN app.
And then the others are on TBS.
Right. Sorry, it's been on cable, but not on regular. No games on Fox. You know.
Are they going to give any weekend games?
I'm sure I'll get some weekend games or some LCS games instead of the LDS games. But shout out to the Cubbies for taking down the Cardinals and moving on to the LCS.
I mean, when was the last time they won a playoff series?
The last time they won a playoff series, I think, was 2003. That's when they went. That's when they had the Bartman game in the NLCS Game 6, and they blamed Bartman for losing the series, even though they still had like 4 more outs to go. And even when they lost that game, they had another game to win if they wanted to, but they still lost that. It's like Red Sox fans blaming Bill Buckner when they still could have won that game in extra innings and could have won the game the next night.
But dude, when you're like that close after being so downtrodden for so long, you're like, oh my gosh, that's our last shot to do this. We'll never be able to get back here again.
Right. And the best part about the Cubs playing so well this year was that Back to the Future 2 predicted that they would win the World Series in 2015.
Gosh, can you imagine if the writers from Back to the Future, the movie would be re-released in theaters nationwide, and it would just make as much money as it did the first time it came out.
Right. I think it would go nuts. I mean, if I was a Cubs fan and they ended up winning, I would have that movie on loop pretty much the rest of the year.
Do they mention who they beat? Is it in the almanac?
It's in the almanac, but they mentioned that they beat the Miami team. Obviously, when the movie was made, there was no Miami team.
Correct.
And the Miami team, they didn't realize the Miami team would be placed in the National League instead of the American League. Yeah. So it's impossible for them to beat the Marlins, but still kind of crazy.
Here at PandaWatch, we give you some good context and some editing because we tell you the real deal that this could never happen. However, it would be pretty cool to dream.
Right. I mean, that'd be awesome. The only thing they could have come close to is beating like the Tampa Bay Rays, but they didn't make the playoffs. So
yeah, that's because the guy who was responsible for them making the playoffs is coaching the Cubbies.
Right, exactly. Talk about a great manager.
He's going down in history, like the Flintstones theme song.
Right, exactly. And Theo Epstein for putting that team together again. I mean, the guy did it once with the Red Sox. So
I mean, he's going to have like 100 and almost 200 years of curses potentially erased with his name on it. That is baseball history.
Right. I think if he wins this series, if he helps the Cubs win this series, I think Cleveland would be the next longest streak without a World Series win. I'd say if you're Cleveland, you pay him like $50 million because this guy clearly ends streaks.
Absolutely. So. But as we've seen, or as many people have seen, if you haven't, please check out the Cleveland YouTube tourism video. Oh, Cleveland doesn't have any money to give him $50 million.
Yeah, they still use payphones over there.
Yes.
Now,
But guys, we're not going to get sponsored by Cleveland. We're not going to get sponsored by Michelob Ultra. We're doing this thing the whole backwards way. But
I think
like
we're alienating more people than we're gaining.
I like it.
Yeah. Fuck them, right?
You suck anyway, so it makes perfect sense.
But this
What else is
weekend.
going on? Sorry to cut
This
you off.
weekend hasn't been all happiness for me though. Even though the Giants won and the playoffs are going on, not all happy. Even with
man, what happened, man?
Oh, what happened?
What happened?
Steve Spurrier has resigned from the Gamecocks head coach position. I mean, that was a little bit of a shocker. I thought he would at least stick it out to the end of the season. A lot of us thought he was done soon. We didn't realize he'd be done halfway through the season.
How many years has Steve been there?
No more head ball coach.
No more visor. No more
visor.
No more. Well, 5-11. We weren't the worst team out there.
Yeah, that was great. But it sucks. He was there for 11 seasons. I think that's what you're about to ask me.
Yes.
Winningest coach at South Carolina. Also the winningest coach at Florida before that.
Nice. Doesn't he? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Second most wins all time in the SEC behind Bear Bryant.
I mean, that's high praise if you're behind Bear Bryant. People down in Alabama name their kids after that guy.
Yeah. But I'll say this: as disappointed as I am that he left during the season, I can't be mad at him because he took us to another level. And when I say us, for those who don't know, I attended the University of South Carolina. I am a Gamecock. So he took us to another level of, I would say greatness, maybe not the right word, but he took us to another level of excellence. Or we finished fourth in the country a couple times. We had a couple 11-win seasons. He had us on the right path. He never won that SEC title that he said he was going to win with us. We got to the championship game once, came close a few other times. But he was a great coach for the school, and he helped get great recruits in. And hopefully the next guy who takes over will keep the trend upwards.
Two-part question. What happened this season? You guys are what, 2-4 as of right now?
Right.
And the conspiracy theorists out there are going to say he's like every other coach when they resign halfway through the season. They are running from the NCAA.
Right. Okay, so the first one. Wait, what was the question? As a man would say.
Are you sure it was a woman?
Yeah, it was a tragedy.
No, the first question was 2-4. What happened this year? What's going on?
So
because he removed himself saying, "I don't think I'm doing a good enough job,"
which is admirable if that's the real thing. Part of me thinks he's just like, look, I'm done with this. This isn't ending well. Let me get out and let the players kind of play out the season under the interim coach and figure it out. But last year they finished 7-6, which obviously was a far cry from 11-2 the year before. This year they don't have the quarterback that they need. They're not talented on offense. They have this kid Pharaoh Cooper, who's really good, but that's about it. So they're not a good football team right now. They need to, and he also hasn't been heavily involved in the recruiting process. A lot of these coaches are down in the trenches with recruiting. He's not one of them. So
they're all ball coaches, man. He loves to play golf.
Yes, he does, and he still has a lifetime membership at Augusta.
Gosh,
but
I would retire right now too, or resign too, and just go play Augusta.
Yeah,
they probably wouldn't let me in, but I'd play.
I'll finish it with, we love him down there. He did great for us, and I wish him the best. Wish him the best.
And Steve, if you're listening to this, come on the show, man. We'd love to have you. It'd be great.
Yes, we would love to have the head ball coach on here. It would be amazing.
Gosh, did you see another college football headline? And this one's, there's no video, not yet on PandaWatch, but I'm going to talk about that Georgia game versus Florida.
They were playing Tennessee.
Tennessee, sorry. I thought they were
Yeah.
playing. Yeah. And the
Yeah.
running back from Georgia, did you see that knee accident?
Yeah, I saw that. Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb, man. Get well, my man. America, if you did not see this young man's leg folded like a Ken doll in the opposite way.
Yeah, that was brutal. That reminds me of the Lattimore knee injuries.
Yeah.
Against Tennessee, even.
Gosh.
Tennessee is just fucking people's knees up. But
I mean, and they taking everything when they take their knee. They take the hamstring. They take the knee bones connected to the thigh bone. They take everything.
Yeah, that was brutal. I couldn't watch the injury because I just can't watch. I can't watch legs bend like that. But hopefully,
Oh, you punk!
I know, man. I'm a punk.
It ain't your leg getting snapped back like that.
Yeah, but that's brutal to look at.
No, I'm joking. I didn't watch it either. It's disgusting.
Yeah. But hopefully he recovers fully. It sucks because
that kid's never playing football again.
It sucks because these kids, I mean, that's their livelihood right there. And hopefully,
and only if there was an organization that had a ton of money that they belong to that could help these kids when stuff like this does happen. But there's no organization like that out there. There's nobody that has the kids' best interest, just only their own.
They're too busy funneling money to athletic departments and college athletic directors. So why would there be money for the kids?
It's really weird.
Yeah. But hopefully he gets better. I don't like Georgia at all, but I hate to see that happen.
Yeah, it was tough.
Also happened to Jamal Charles too, my fantasy running back. But
yeah,
I won't cry about that. I'll still make the playoffs over your sorry team.
You might.
Yeah.
Did you see the story about that lady?
Yeah. So we're moving on from sports. We're going to see something even crazier than this weekend in sports. A woman on the Upper East Side is suing her now 12-year-old nephew for $127,000 in damages because when he was 8, so this is 4 years ago for those of you who have trouble with math, when he was 8, he ran up to her and said, "I love you, Aunt Jenny," I think Jenny's her name, and jumped at her, and they like kind of fell to the ground.
We're going to change her name from Aunt Jenny to Aunt Terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Aunt Jezebel or whatever, like something really bad.
Yeah, terrible.
So she fell to the ground and hurt her wrist. And now 4 years later, she's saying it's really hindered her life because she lives on a 3rd floor walk-up on the Upper East Side. So that's been tough because apparently she pulling herself up the stairs. Yeah, she's either walking on her hands or she's pulling herself up the stairs instead of using her legs. Maybe we can just get her like a Costanza thing where she can just sit down and ride on up.
What's that place? What's it called?
Play Now. Play Now.
There we go.
Yeah. Let's get her a little stair machine so she doesn't have to worry about going up and down the stairs anymore.
Don't they live in New York?
I'm sorry?
Don't they live in New York?
Yeah, she lives on 73rd Street, so she actually probably doesn't live too far from me.
But it's a walk up. Don't you guys have like trash chutes where you just drop your trash down?
Oh no, I have to bring the trash down.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say maybe you can put her in like the trash thing and like wheel her down and then wheel her up.
Yeah, that would be nice if they had like a hidden dumbwaiter that they can just fit.
There we go. Dumbwaiter. Yeah. Look at you. Sorry, I grew up in a 1-level walk up. No dumbwaiter there.
Yeah. No, you have people stealing packages from your neighbor. That's about it.
We keep it galley.
But also her other complaint was that at a party she had trouble holding a plate of hors d'oeuvres. That was her other complaint, was she had trouble holding a plate of hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
How did How did she get to the number she came to for the lawsuit?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I wouldn't think that right, because you wouldn't think that a sprained wrist would cost that much, or even a fractured wrist.
Yeah, or even a fractured wrist over 4 years ago.
Right. That's I'm having trouble how she came to that amount. Now, before we get too far into it, what a lot of people are saying is that she's suing the nephew because the insurance isn't paying her. So it's kind of like some people are saying that she has to sue them in order for the insurance to take over and pay her medical expenses.
But the 12-year-old is probably not of age to, to be on, I don't guess, stand trial at a civil suit?
Yeah, well, I guess civil suits have much different rules than, criminal court and things like that. So maybe you sue the kid because he's the one who did it, but in the end, it's the father's insurance that'll end up paying it out. Now,
I mean, there's no way this story is real. It
can't be real.
Did we check Snopes?
We can check it if we want, but that would ruin the fun because I kind of like imagining that this is real.
Yeah, you're right. Aunt Terrible. Gosh, how dare you?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So
she's suing. What's his name? Little Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't know. We could call him Little Jimmy. That'd be funny. Jimmy's getting upset. Pretty much.
Jimmy's not gonna have enough money for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Yeah. So hopefully the kid prevails, or something happens where he's not screwed for life. Because that would just be miserable.
Aunt Terrible just drops the case and she goes about restitution a different way.
Right. And also another kicker to this, Aunt Terrible's sister, aka her nephew's mother, passed away a year ago.
Jeez.
So this might be like, well, I don't have to worry about her anymore. So let me just completely screw the family.
I mean, the only way this story gets even more messed up is if she's been having an affair with the dad.
There's no way. I mean, I would love that. That would be amazing. There's no way.
That would be like a movie.
That would be an amazing Lifetime movie.
We should write that movie.
We will write that movie. You heard it here first.
Let's get the credits to that movie right now.
Yeah. Patent pending.
Gosh. How much? I mean, that movie, the rights to that movie are probably what, $500?
I mean, yeah. I'd say we can probably get $600 for it.
Let's write it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a Michael Bay thriller, though. We're not gonna just make it like some kind of Lifetime sappy thing.
Oh yeah, when the nephew actually like jumps on her and she falls, it's gonna like be a spinning camera, and we're gonna focus on like some hot girl like staring at it.
She's
like,
gonna be
all,
eating
like,
a
thoughtfully.
cheeseburger. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Burger, and he's gonna be flying through the air, cross her face, and the cameras will be spinning. It's gonna be dope. So
yeah, and Mark Wahlberg will play the dad.
Mark Wahlberg plays the dad.
Shia LaBeouf will play the nephew.
And yeah.
And
who plays the aunt?
I was gonna say Megan Fox, but she can play like
Renee Zellweger plays the aunt.
Right. Renee Zellweger would be perfect for the aunt. That's a good call.
Who the hell is Renee Zellweger?
That is a great call. And you know who can get help to write that movie? Although I don't have a lot of faith in them. The writers of SNL. Get them right.
If that script came across the producer's table by them, it'd go right in the toilet.
Yeah. But SNL this
those
week,
guys are all talented, more talented. Guys and gals are more talented than me, but right now they're floundering.
Yeah. And this week they had Amy Schumer hosting. And I like Amy Schumer. I like her a lot. That's me personally.
Yeah.
I know she's not everyone's favorite, which is fine.
Yeah. To each their own, indeed.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. If you don't think she's funny, that's one thing. If you don't think she's funny, because she's saying gross stuff or because women shouldn't be saying that, then you're a fucking idiot.
No,
But
that's stupid.
yeah, a lot of people's complaint is, oh, she's so lewd or so, crude with her topics.
She's not acting like a lady.
Right. That's the chief complaint. If you don't think she's funny, that's fine. But I think she's funny. Her monologue.
Act like a lady hashtag is about to go viral.
What's up?
Act like a lady hashtag is going to go viral.
I think it should.
I mean, I think it should. But they should like have hilarious like anecdotes next to it.
Yeah, they should do every double standard that a man gets away with, and then
act
just
like a lady.
Yeah.
Take a shit with the door open, blasting rap music. Don't flush.
Act like a lady. Yeah.
Act like a lady. Hashtag.
But her monologue was funny at parts. I thought it went along a little too long. A little too long for my taste, but it had some funny parts to it. The gun skit was pretty funny.
I like that one. That was good. And at least it got some talking. Yeah. Yeah, SNL, I guess they might just be finding their bearings. I mean, it's early in the season. So
right.
I mean, the Colts started off 0-2, so I'm willing to give them a chance. But
right, exactly.
Their saving grace is usually Weekend Update. And the two skits characters that they had for Weekend Update, they were underwhelming.
Right. They had some good Che had a good Columbus Day bit where he was like, when white people say we've built this country, but then he like points out to every other minority that has actually built it. And then the camera pans to Colin Jost and he's like, wait, don't pan to me. And then Michael Che was like, no, I told them to do that. Nice. I thought that was funny. So
never forget.
Yeah, I mean, I still like him on it. I still like Michael Che on it.
No, Michael Che's good, but I thought as a whole Weekend Update was
Yeah, no, you're right. Weekend Update struggled again.
But I just remembered 2 shows in, the third show, you know who the host's gonna be?
I haven't checked.
Tracy Morgan making his return to TV.
That's right.
There's no way he is not going to kill that.
He's going to kill it, and 5 minutes of his monologue is just going to be applause.
Yeah,
everyone's going to be so happy to see him back, and it's like
pretty dope to see that guy back, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome news that he's coming back and he's going to be performing again. Yeah. I mean, what I see here's the thing. And I almost want to like send them 1,000 emails. They need to do the skit with him and Keenan as scared straight.
McIntyre has to have it.
Yeah. Just call us Double Big Mac because we ain't on the regular menu. You dig?
And when he's the gay zookeeper.
Oh, Brian Bellows?
Yes.
I don't think he was gay, but yeah, sure.
Brian Bellows?
I don't think he was gay.
I don't think I think they might have an episode. Well, how about this? This will be the episode when he comes out.
Right. Okay, I can deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a stupid prediction, but I can deal with that.
It's a bold prediction.
Yeah, I mean, bold means stupid. Then sure, yeah, that's a stupid. It's a bold prediction.
Thanks, man.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to help you out.
Yeah. Brian Fellows, man, I love him. He's hilarious. You better get out of here.
What's that?
With it.
Yeah, he had a good one. Where it was like they're talking about like the problem of clubbing baby seals. He's like, I didn't know baby seals went to clubs. What clubs did they go to?
Oh yeah, Tracy Morgan is gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Also, next week we can get into the first Democratic presidential debate.
Right. I mean, I haven't been watching it at all. I know you were watching some of it before we started tonight.
Yeah, I was.
But I think I'm on Team Bernie right now with the Democrats.
The Burn train, man. That thing is strolling.
Yeah. I think I'm on Team Burn.
Hey, man, let's just give them all time to weed themselves out. We want the best for America.
Right. I agree. I'm not saying I'm voting for him.
I don't know, man. I feel like you just put that on PandaWatch that we're all like Team Bernie.
I said I was on Team Burn.
I mean, you kind of was trying to speak for the podcast, didn't I? Had to make sure.
I said I'm sorry. I myself, Steven Zebrak, co-founding member of PandaWatch, am on Team Burn.
Okay.
You don't have to say what team you're on.
I'm Kevin Ma. Hey, man. I was trying to tell you about Dave. Don't ask me who I'm voting for.
Yeah, yeah. We forgot Dave Chappelle. You can't talk to white people about who they're voting for. It's great.
That's great. All right.
All right, Kev, do we have anything else for our lovely viewers tonight?
Viewers, the listeners out there.
Listeners, viewers, audience members, whatever you want to call them.
We've got nothing.
All right.
Well, do you have anything? I mean, we've got a lot of dead air. That's what we got.
I mean, we got dead air every week, though. We just got to figure it out.
That's great.
Dead air happens, man.
Love the 4 people who are listening. One's my girlfriend. Thanks, babe.
Thanks, babe. Gracias. But yes, another great 48 minutes of PandaWatch followed by 2 minutes of just tomfoolery. And we hope you guys join us again next week.
Where can they find us, man?
They can find us on Facebook, man. Actually, you know where you can find us? Just Google PandaWatch Podcast, and our latest podcast comes up.
Oh, are we that big time?
Yeah, we are that big time. I actually tried that out earlier today or yesterday, and our 3 YouTube, or was it 4 now, YouTube postings will come up. Also find us on a website called Churbit. That's C-H. Man, I'm trying to spell it out. C-H-I-R-B as in boy, IT.com, and just search PandaWatch Podcast on that, and you'll find us there. That has all of our recordings, even from back in June, May, April, and I think March is back there.
Gosh, we were really raw into this thing.
Yeah, we are really raw, and please just spread the word if you like what you hear, and you can always skip around the dead air parts, people. Always skip around those.
Nice. So
anyways, until next time, I'm Steven Zebrak.
It's your boy Kev Ma.
Peace and love.
Chocolatas.